Muhammad, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Your voice is very low. Are you
Okay.
using any headphone or earphone something?
Yeah. Is it
Amit,
okay
can you
now?
hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, yes, yes. Okay. Now I can
Okay.
hear.
All right. Thank you.
Amit,
Yes, sir, I can hear you, sir.
okay, okay. Let's start our discussion, everyone. And our discussion is related with Fortinet firewall training, right?
Right, sir.
So today we will focus on the topic discussion. Topic discussion. What topic we will discuss in our complete training? So we have approx 14 module to discuss in our complete Fortinet firewall training. And this complete training will take minimum 24 to 28 hours minimum. What I can provide you from my side, so I can provide you slides and notes, you can say, lab setup software. So we have proper notes, okay, for each topic. For example, in case if we are talking about interface configuration or firewall configuration or VPN configuration, we have a proper notes for each topic. So I can provide you slides and notes. Please share your email ID in our WhatsApp group after this training. Now, lab setup software, lab setup, because for practice, yes, you need a proper lab setup. So I can provide you lab setup software and you can install this lab setup on your laptop. Yes, I can help you, no problem. You can create lab setup on your laptop and you can do practical or practice anytime. Okay, so today we'll focus on topic discussion. Amit, Mohammed, this session is what? For topic discussion. So we have total 14 modules. So first topic is called Introduction and Initial Configuration. Introduction and Initial Configuration. So into this section, we'll focus on product family, because if you guys are familiar with the Cisco router and Cisco switches or any other product, any other vendor, so in case if you are learning Fortinet firewall device, so you need to know the product information, okay, which firewall series is suitable for my organization, okay. In case if I'm looking for VM firewall box, then what is the default factory configuration on firewall devices, how to configure, how to access firewall device through CLI, or how to manage through graphical page, how to create multiple firewall administrator, how to take backup, restore, how to upgrade firmware version, okay, interface
Okay.
configuration like physical interface, logical interface. These topics are related with only introduction and initial configuration. Everyone, only this topic will take minimum 3 to 4 hours. Only this introduction and initial configuration. After after introduction and initial configuration, you will get the idea about the basic command, basic graphical configuration, interface configuration. Clear my point, Amit, Mohammed?
Yeah. Yeah. It's clear. Yeah. Yeah.
After introduction and initial configuration, we can move for a routing topic. Routing. See, for routing feature, we have a dedicated device. We have router, Amit, right? We have router. We can perform routing feature on router. So see, we are working with next generation firewall, right? Fortinet is what? Next generation firewall. Fortinet, Palo Alto, checkpoint firewall device, Cisco firepower threat defense. These are what? These are called next generation firewall feature. So we need to know next generation firewall feature here. But you can see routing we can configure onto this firewall device. Why? Because like other vendor, like Palo Alto or Checkpoint, like other vendor, Fortinet is giving you option. Fortinet is giving you option to you can configure routing feature. You can utilize routing feature here. See, I'm not telling you the story. What is static routing? What is default routing? What is RIP? What is OSPF? What is BGP? No, I'm not telling you the story. Here I will tell you how to configure it. You guys are familiar with the CCNA concept, right? So you know already what is static routing, what is default. Here I'm telling you how to configure it on 48 firewall device. So static routing, our topic, default routing, yes, we can focus, and then we can move for dynamic routing configuration. In dynamic routing, I will tell you about RIP configuration. Then we can go for EIGR. No, EIGRP is not our topic. EIGRP is a Cisco standard protocol. OSPF, you can configure. BGP, you can configure. So I'm not telling you the story. What is OSPF area concept? What is a routing information protocol? What is border gateway protocol? No. I will tell you how to configure it. Clear my point? Amit, Mohammed?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's clear. Yes, sir.
After routing, you will get the idea how to send traffic through the firewall device. But it's a firewall. Routing you can configure for connectivity. Okay. But to allow traffic from one network to another network in firewall devices, you need to configure firewall policy. And guys, remember always Palo Alto, checkpoint firewall device, okay, Cisco firepower threat defense. These devices, these firewalls are called zone-based firewall. Okay, Palo Alto, checkpoint, and Cisco FTD. These are what? Zone-based firewall. Fortinet is not a zone-based firewall. Remember always, Fortinet is not a zone-based firewall, but Palo Alto, checkpoint, Cisco firepower threat defense, these are called zone-based firewall. So in case if you are working with any zone-based firewall, so the concept is if you want to allow traffic, for example, here we have a Palo Alto firewall device, for example, okay? And this portion is a LAN portion. This side is what? WAN side. So in case if you are working with any zone-based firewall, so the concept is if you want to allow traffic from one zone to another zone, you need to configure policy. You need to configure policy. In Palo Alto, you can create security policy. In Checkpoint, you can create access control policy. In Cisco FTD, you can create access policy. In Fortinet, see, I told you, Fortinet is not a zone-based firewall. In Fortinet, what concept we have? If you want to allow traffic from one network to another network, or you can say if you want to allow traffic from one interface to another interface, you need to configure firewall policy here. For example, this device is what? Fortinet. For example, this is Fortinet firewall device. This is port number 2. This is port number 3. So if you want to allow traffic from one interface to another interface, yes, you need to configure firewall policy. So we have a dedicated topic. To discuss firewall policy concept. In case if I want to configure multiple firewall policy, I want to create 500 firewall policy, okay, 1000 firewall policy, or how to create firewall policy through CLI option. We'll discuss both, okay, how to create policy with graphical page and with CLI option. How to work with firewall policy, how to delete, how to edit, we'll discuss. We have a dedicated session, chapter number 4. Amit, clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Mohammed?
Yes, clear, yeah.
Firewall policy we are using to allow our traffic from one interface to another interface. But in case if your traffic is traveling private to public, so you need translation, right? We need translation. And if you remember from CCNA classes, so in if you talk about NAT, so we have 3 type of NAT concept: static NAT, dynamic NAT, and PAT concept. Remember these topics from CCNA classes, everyone? Mohammed, Amit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Static NAT is what? One-to-one mapping. Dynamic NAT, we can create a range of public IP. PAT is what? We can translate multiple private IP address with single public IP. So this is NAT. But in Fortinet, we will discuss about 2 type of NAT concept. First, you can focus on source NAT implementation. Then you can move for destination NAT implementation, DNAT. So we have 2 type of NAT implementation scenario: source NAT and destination NAT. And to configure source and destination NAT, we have two configuration options. First, we can go with firewall policy NAT. First, you can go with firewall policy NAT. And second option we have, it's called central NAT concept. Central NAT concept. It means this source NAT and this destination NAT will discuss in firewall policy NAT, and same source and destination NAT will focus on central NAT configuration. So only this NAT topic will take minimum 3 to 4 hours with theoretical and practical implementation. Clear? So for translation, we have NAT. To allow our traffic from one interface to another interface, we can configure firewall policy. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Now, next we have chapter number 5, 6, and 7. These three topics are related with next generation firewall features. You can add one more topic, no problem. You can add here one more topic. It's called, wait, file filter concept. In Fortinet, you can say file filter. In Palo Alto, you can say file blocking concept. In Cisco Firepower Threat Defense, you can say file policy concept. Okay, so these topics are related with security profile. You can say next generation firewall features. Security profile. So in Fortinet, we can create security profiles, and these security profiles we can attach with our firewall policy. So why it's required? Why we need next generation firewall features? Why we need security profile feature? So for example, right now I'm giving you the basic idea, okay? Right now, it's a basic idea. So here we have a firewall device. This portion is a LAN portion. This side is what? WAN side portion. WAN side. So in case if this inside machine, for example, 192.168.10.10 is trying to communicate with this server, okay? So as per your security policy, or you can say as per your firewall policy, traffic is traveling. As per your firewall policy, traffic is traveling. This is port number 2, this is port number 1, and traffic is traveling from LAN to WAN side. Behalf of your firewall policy. Perfect, no problem. Connection is established. Now within a connection, within this live connection, this inside machine is trying to download a file. This inside machine is trying to download a file, and maybe this file is infected with some malicious code. Maybe this file is infected with virus, with malware. Then only your firewall policy cannot detect this malicious information. No. So what you can do? You can go for next generation firewall feature. For example, into this scenario, you can create antivirus profile. What you can do? Into this scenario, you can create antivirus profile, and this profile you can attach with your firewall policy. So you can create antivirus profile. So behalf of antivirus signature database, your firewall can detect malicious information, can detect virus information, and can take action based on your configuration. So into this scenario, you can create what? Antivirus profile. And behalf of antivirus profile, your firewall can detect malicious information and can block it. Amit, clear? Mohammed,
Yes.
clear?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now we have other next generation firewall feature, everyone. For example, application control. Fortinet is a next generation firewall. So this firewall can detect application. For example, in my organization, I want to block Facebook application. I want to block LinkedIn application. So you can work with any specific application, or in case, if you want to block complete category. For example, I want to block gaming category application. I want to block all social media category application. I want to block all file sharing category application. Yes, you can do this. You can do this with application control profile. Web filtering. In web filtering, you can work with URL. See, in Fortinet, you can say web filtering. In Palo Alto, you can say URL filtering. In checkpoint, you can say URL filtering. Okay, in Cisco Firepower Threat Defense, you can say URL filtering. In Fortinet, you can say web filtering. So in case, for example, in case, if you want to block, wait, for example, you have this URL, okay, and you don't know anything about this URL, but you want to block this URL in your organization. Then if you want to block this URL in your organization, then you can go with web filtering concept. With web filtering, you can work with any specific URL, or you can go with URL category. For example, I want to block all news and media category websites, because every website has a category, right? Every website has a category. So if you want to work with category option, for example, all political organization website, I want to block. All sports category website, I want to block. All shopping category websites, I want to block. Yes, you can do this with web filtering concept. It's a next generation firewall features. File filter, what is file filter? So in file filter, you can work with file type. File type, you can say, or file extension. You can work with file types or file extension. File extension. For example, in my organization, I don't want to allow exe file. I don't want to allow exe file. No one can upload or download exe file in my organization. No one can upload or download PDF file. So you can work with file extension in file filter concept. So these topics are related with next generation firewall features. So we have a dedicated session, everyone. We have dedicated session for each topic. Amit.
Okay, sir.
Amit, clear for you?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, clear, sir.
Muhammad, okay.
Yes,
Now you can talk about next concept. It's called FortiGate AD concept, or you can say firewall authentication. Firewall authentication. So I told you, to allow our traffic from one interface to another interface in Fortinet, we can configure firewall policy. Okay, no problem. Here we have a firewall device, and behalf of our firewall policy, traffic is traveling through the firewall device. So this inside machine, this 192.168.10.10 is trying to hit on your policy. For example, you have a policy rule, it's called rule 1. It's a policy name, okay? So behalf of your firewall policy, traffic is traveling. So port number 2 and port number 3. So in policy rule, what you can define? You can define your source IP, destination IP, service, application, and action you can take. For example, action, allow. Once it will match all the parameters, it's allow. So behalf of your firewall policy, traffic is traveling. So if someone will hit on your policy rule, so if you're verifying, for example, if you are verifying log information related with this firewall policy, so you can get only IP address information. If you verify the log information, you will get only IP address information. What is source IP? What is destination IP? That's it. But you don't know which user account. For example, onto this machine, multiple users are working. For example, multiple users, 2 or 3 users are working onto this machine in different time. So if someone will hit on your policy, if you verify log information related with this rule 1, so you can get only IP address information. You don't know which user account. So my point is, you don't have full visibility in your network. You don't have full visibility. You don't know which user account. So for full visibility, you can go with FortiGate AD. In Fortinet, you can say FortiGate AD or firewall authentication concept. In Palo Alto, you can say user ID. In Checkpoint, you can say identity awareness. In Cisco Firewall Threat Defense, you can say identity policy. Okay, so what you can do in FortiGate AD, you can create user account. And these user account you can attach with your firewall policy. You can create user account. So to create user account, you have 2 options. First, you can go with local database. So you can create user account in FortiGate, Firewall, local storage, or you can say local database. So in case if you are working in a small network, no problem. You can go with local database. You can use local database. You can create user account in local database. But in case if you are working in a big network, like domain environment, so you can go with centralized remote authentication server. Okay, you can go with remote authentication server like Radius, or you can say TechX, or you can say LDAP or Microsoft Active Directory, you can say. So we have two options. Either we can create user account in local database, and these user account we can attach in our policy. For example, I can define source IP, then I can add source user information. So you can create user account in local database, or in case if you have a big scenario, big network, so all the user accounts are available in centralized database, Radius, TechX, or LDAP. So I will tell you how to integrate your firewall device with any remote authentication server. For example, in your LAN side, you have Radius server. For example, Radius server. So how to integrate my firewall device with Radius server? Because all the users' accounts are available onto the centralized location. So we'll discuss this concept in FortiGate AD. So for full visibility, you can work with user account. You can work with group account information. Clear my point, Amit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear, sir.
Now, next concept we'll discuss about virtual domain. In Fortinet, you can say virtual domain. In Cisco, you can say security context. In Palo Alto, you can say virtual system. So you can divide your single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall device. Okay, why we need multiple firewall device? So for example, I have a single firewall box, for example, and this single firewall device is connected with a switch. And in my LAN side network, this is firewall device. In my LAN side network, I have multiple departments, you can say. Multiple departments. For example, a marketing department, sales department, HR department, multiple VLANs, you can say. So in case, if I'm looking for a dedicated firewall device for each department, okay, my requirement is what? I want to configure separate type of NAT policy, firewall policy, security profile, VPN configuration for each department. Okay, I want to configure separate type of NAT policy. I want to configure separate type of firewall policy for each department. So in case if you are going with separate physical appliance, right now we have 3 departments. So we need 3 physical appliances. If you are going with 3 physical appliances, then cost is very high. In that case, what we can do, we can buy a single firewall box. We can buy a single big box. And with the help of license, we can divide our single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall box. What we can do, we can divide our single firewall box into multiple. So this is what? Marketing firewall device. Marketing firewall. This is what? Sales firewall device. This is HR firewall device. And these are called resources. These interfaces, you can say resources. So first, you can divide your single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall box. After that, you can assign your interfaces. For example, port number 2, port number 3, port number 4, port number 5, port number 6, port number 7. So what you can do, see, first you can divide your single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall box. So now you have 3 independent units, Amit. There is no any communication in between these firewall device. Marketing firewall box don't know anything about sales and HR. Everyone, clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So we
sir.
have three separate independent units. So first you can divide your single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall box. After that, you can assign your resources. After that, you can assign your resources, you can say, or interfaces, you can say. So you can see now, whenever you will log in into this marketing firewall box, you have two interfaces. You can say firewall with two interfaces. So this time marketing traffic is traveling via marketing firewall box, sales traffic is traveling via sales firewall box, HR traffic is traveling via HR firewall box. So how to work with virtual domain concept, we'll discuss. We have a dedicated session for virtual domain. Right now, I'm giving you the basic idea. This is basic idea about virtual domain. We can divide our single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall box. This concept is called VDOMs. VDOM. In short, you can say VDOM. Amit, clear now for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, clear. Yes, clear, sir.
Now, next topic we'll discuss about layer 2 firewall. Layer 2 firewall. So remember always, we can use our firewall device in two mode. Either you can use your firewall device as a L3 firewall box. You can say as a L3, or you can say as a NAT mode firewall. Or you can use your firewall box as a layer 2. Or you can say transparent firewall. Transparent firewall. So in case if I have a firewall device, for example, this firewall is a layer 3 firewall, for example, okay? This firewall is a layer 3 firewall. So these interfaces are acting as a layer 3 interfaces. These are what? Layer 3 interfaces. It means we can configure IP address here. We can configure IP address here. These are the L3 interfaces. You can configure routing here. You can configure NAT onto this box. You can configure VPN onto this box, and it's a firewall. It's a next generation firewall. So you can use firewall feature. You can utilize firewall feature. But in case if you are using this firewall box as a layer 2 firewall box, if this firewall device, this complete box is acting as a layer 2, or you can say transparent firewall. So these interfaces are called layer 2 interfaces. It's not a switch port, Amit, Mohammed. It's not a switch port. No, it's a layer 2 interface. It means we cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces. We cannot configure routing. We cannot configure NAT. No VPN. No. So we have limitations. We have limitations with layer 2 firewall, but it's a next generation firewall. It's a complete firewall device. So you can utilize next generation firewall features. It's a complete firewall, but we have limitation. We cannot configure IP address on interfaces. We cannot configure routing, NAT, VPN. No. Clear?
Clear, sir.
So my point is, in which scenario we can use our firewall device as a layer 2 firewall? Because you can see here, with layer 3 firewall, we have great feature, right? With layer 3 firewall, we have great feature. We can configure IP address on interfaces. We can configure routing, NAT, VPN. We can utilize next generation firewall features. But we have limitations with layer 2 firewall. So in this scenario, we can use our firewall device as a layer 2 firewall device. We'll discuss, okay? We'll discuss here. We have a dedicated session, how to work with layer 2 firewall. Okay, everyone, please wait 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Okay.
1 minute, 1 minute. Everyone can hear me? Amit, Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's continue our topic. So now next topic is what? Login and monitoring. This topic is very important. Into this topic, we can focus on troubleshooting. Troubleshooting, for example, here we can verify the log information. So if any traffic is going to hit on your firewall device, or if any traffic is traveling through the firewall device, this activity will record, and it will contain in a file. It's called log file. So you can store logs here. You can discuss about logs in login and monitoring. So you can store your logs. You can go with local database, no problem. You can store your logs in local database, local storage you can use, or in case if you have a big scenario, big network, so you can store your logs in remote logging server. Remote logging server, for example, syslog server, or you can go with SNMP. If we talk about Fortinet, everyone, so in Fortinet, we have a dedicated appliance. For log, we have a dedicated appliance. It's called FortiAnalyzer. Amit.
Okay, sir.
For all
Yes,
Fortinet
sir.
product, you can go with dedicated appliance, Mohammed. It's called FortiAnalyzer device. It's a part of NSC 5 training. So after NSC 4, you can plan for NSC 5 after Fortinet training. Okay, after NSC 4 training. So
Okay.
yes, we have a dedicated appliance for all Fortinet product log, FortiAnalyzer. But yes, here into this training, we'll focus on how to send logs on remote logging server like syslog or SNMP. And yes, you can store all type of logs. For example, if someone will hit on your firewall policy, if someone will hit on your NAT policy, if someone will hit on your application control, if VPN tunnel down, VPN tunnel up, I want to verify all type of logs. You can go with packet capture concept. If you talk about packet capture concept, so you have two options. You can go with graphical page. It means you can capture your packet. And these packets you can verify in any packet capturing tool like Wireshark you can use. Or in case if you don't have Wireshark and if you want to capture live packet, so you can go with CLI option. In CLI, we'll discuss about diagnose packet sniffer is a command. Diagnose packet sniffer concept. So this topic is very important. Here you can verify all type of logs, VPN log, high availability log, okay, policy log, security profiles related logs, all type of logs you can verify in login and monitoring. Now, next topic, chapter number 12 and 13. These two topics are related with VPN concept. VPN. So first we will focus on what is VPN concept, what is virtual private network, why we are using this concept, what is the feature, what is the benefit. And now if you talk about implementation, so we have two type of VPN implementation. First, you can go with IPsec, and second option we have SSL VPN. IPsec we are using for site to site VPN connectivity. So if you have branch office A, branch office A, branch office B. If you have branch office and if you want to connect these branch office in a secure manner, so you can go with IPsec. So remember always for site to site VPN connectivity, you can go with IPsec concept. So what is IPsec? What is phase 1? What is phase 2? What is ASP protocol? What is IKE? What is encryption? What is hashing? What is Diffie-Hellman? We'll discuss here. Now, if you talk about site-to-site implementation in Fortinet, so we have 3 labs only for site-to-site VPN implementation. First, route-based site-to-site VPN. Then you can go for policy-based site-to-site VPN. And third practical we have, it's called template-based site-to-site VPN. So only for site-to-site VPN connectivity, we'll discuss three labs: route-based, policy-based, and template-based. Okay, we have another type of VPN implementation. It's called remote access VPN. We have another type of VPN implementation. It's called what? Remote access VPN. So in remote access VPN, outside user, you can say, or home user, you can say, he has simple Wi-Fi modem at his home. So this outside user, he has, you can say, internet connectivity. He has Wi-Fi modem at his home, and he's trying to access company private resources. For example, this is VPN gateway device, and this side we have company servers. For example, web server or DNS server or FTP server or SMTP server. So this outside user is trying to access company private resources. So he need to establish a connection first, Amit, Mohammed. He need to establish a connection first, and this connection is called remote access VPN connection. He need to establish this connection with his mobile phone, laptop, desktop, and once this connection will establish, then yes, he can access company private resources. And this complete connection, complete traffic is encrypted, secured, you can say. This type of connection is called what? Remote access VPN connection. And to configure remote access VPN, you can go with IPsec or you can go with SSL VPN option. Okay. So for site to site, you can go with IPsec. But for remote access VPN implementation, we have two options. You can go with IPsec or you can configure with SSL. Now, what is the difference in between IPsec and SSL? What is the difference in between IPsec and SSL? And which one is a popular option for remote access VPN implementation? We'll discuss. Okay, we have chapter number 12 and chapter number 13 for these topics. So only these two topics will take minimum 6 to 7 hours. Clear? Minimum it will take 6 hours. Amit, Mohammed, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, now next topic, it's a common concept like NAT, like VPN, high availability. So why we need high availability concept? For example, I have a firewall device in my organization, and this firewall device is connected with a switch. This side is a LAN machine. This portion is a public portion. Everything is working fine into this topology. Everything is working fine. Okay, you have IP address on port. For example, you have IP address on port number 2, port number 3. Everything is working fine into this topology. You have routing, you have firewall policy, you are using NAT, VPN. You can say traffic is traveling through firewall device. Traffic is traveling. It's working fine. But into this topology, you are working with single firewall device, single firewall box. In case if this box down, then connectivity loss, your LAN user, they cannot go onto the internet side. That is the issue. In that case, what you can do, you can go for backup plan, or you can go for, you can say, high availability. So you can add one more firewall here into this topology. This is firewall box 2. This is firewall box 1. So you can add one more firewall box into this topology. And now see here, this is what? Switch number 2. You can say this is switch number 1. Now you need to change your topology because you want to add one more firewall box into your network. So second firewall box I'm adding for high availability. If you talk about high availability mode, so we have two practical. We can go with active passive high availability, or you can go with active high availability. Now, in case if you are working with active passive, so in active passive scenario, one firewall is actively manage your traffic. You can say one box is active and secondary device or next device is a part of passive, you can say, or standby device. We have a link in between firewall box 1 and firewall box 2, Mohammed, Amit.
Yes, sir.
We have a link
Yes,
in
yes,
between
sir.
firewall box 1 and firewall box 2. This link is known as HA link. If you are working with Fortinet, so you need single failover link. If you are working with Cisco ASA, you need single failover link. If you are working with Palo Alto firewall device, Palo Alto firewall, so we need two separate link in Palo Alto firewall scenario. In Palo Alto, HA1 and HA2. We need two separate link. This is called control link and this is called data link. So we need two separate link in Palo Alto, but in Fortinet we need single failover link. HA, it's called high availability link. Through this failover link, firewall box 1 is sending a keep alive message, you can say. He's sending hello packet information, HA status information, you can say. Okay, and into this hello packet, he's telling what? He's saying what? I'm active. So this box status is what? Passive. When this box down, then this passive box will become active automatically. And all the traffic is traveling via active box. So in active passive scenario, you can only utilize one firewall box into your high availability cluster. Right now you have two firewall devices. If you have 4 firewall then, and if you are working with active passive, so you can utilize only one firewall box into this high availability cluster, and rest 3 firewall devices, they are acting as a passive device or standby device. In case if you want to utilize all the firewall box into your high availability cluster, so you can go with active concept. You can go with active. In active, you can utilize all your firewall devices. Clear? Right now, I'm giving you basic idea, Amit. It's a basic
Yes,
idea.
sir.
Yes, sir.
It's not a topic, okay? Only high availability will take minimum 2 to 3 hours. We have a proper concept. We'll discuss what is HA. Okay, we'll discuss other scenario in case if this link goes down, this link goes down, if this link goes down. So we'll discuss multiple scenario here. Right now, I'm giving you basic idea. So we have 14 modules. These are the topics. Amit, clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
So today, just introduction session, we'll start our first topic, introduction and initial configuration topic from tomorrow. Okay, everyone,
Okay.
please connect.
Yes.
See, our timing is what? 12 p.m.
Full.
12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Okay, 1:30. So every weekend we can do session 90-minute to 2-hour session. Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Amit,
Yes, sir.
everyone, please share your email ID in WhatsApp group. Okay, after this session, I will share this recording video, lab setup software, and slides and notes. Bye, everyone.
All
Take
right.
care, guys. Tomorrow, same time. Okay.
Okay.
All
Sir.
right.
Bye,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Do you have any knowledge on firewall devices? Are you working?
Yeah. Yeah. At the moment, I'm not working, but I used to work in
Okay, you are working with any firewall device. Do you have knowledge?
sorry, firewall. You say firewalls?
Are you working with any firewall device?
No, but I done training on Palo Alto.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you have
but
any
I'm not
idea about
working now.
So
Yeah, I'm
basic
not looking.
concept is clear about you. What is firewall exactly? Can you
Yeah,
help
it's
me
clear.
for what is firewall device?
Firewall
What do you think?
yeah, is hardware or software device, either hardware or software,
Mhm.
and is a device which can protect the network, internal and external traffic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any idea about stateful firewall technique? What is stateful firewall technique in firewall? Do you have
Uh,
any idea?
stateful firewall
Yes, it's a
is a
common technique for any firewall device.
is a firewall which can keep the track of return traffic there.
Okay. Okay. Can you complete this? What is stateful firewall technique?
Which can keep the source address
Yes,
and
it
destination.
can maintain the state of connection in connection table, right?
Yeah, connection
In
table.
a
Yeah,
state table.
and state table. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So let's revise. Okay, let's revise our firewall concept. Okay, I'm going to
All
start
right.
from basics first.
All right.
So
Okay.
what do you think about firewall device? Firewall is just like a router. Remember always, it's just like a router. For example, you can configure routing on router, no problem. You can configure on firewall device. You can configure NAT on router. You can configure on firewall device. You can configure VPN on router. You can configure on firewall device. So firewall is just like a router. Okay, just like a router. But yes,
Okay.
it has some advanced feature. Okay, which router cannot provide you. Router cannot provide you. So it has some advanced features. So firewall is just like a router, or you can say, Muhammad, you can say firewall is a system, okay, or you can say it's a group of system that can manage access between network. What is between networks? In between LAN, WAN, and DMZ. Amit, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, dear. I just started this topic, okay?
Yes, sir.
Just started, okay. So firewall is what? Firewall is just group of system that can manage access between networks. So we have networks means what? LAN network, WAN network, or DMZ network. So LAN means what? Our private network, right, Mohammed? Amit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
LAN
Yes.
is what?
Yes, sir.
Private network. WAN is what? Public site network. What about DMZ? Any idea, Amit? What is DMZ network? Why we are using this concept?
Actually, DMZ is a sir demilitarized zone, and that we refer just because we allow like
Mhm,
uh, we create a firewall, and
mhm,
after firewall, our servers are connected, and just before firewall, maybe in my scenario is there, sir. There is
mhm,
a two firewall.
mhm,
First, any user came and passed to the first firewall.
mhm,
After that, there is a DMZ zone
mhm,
where multiple users are allowed. And
mhm.
after that, our another firewall, then our core servers and main switches are there. My core servers and routers are there. There are only administrators are. So in between the firewall, there is a zone that is called DMZ, where less security as comparison to our main.
Why we need? Why we need DMZ? Because my point is what, Amit?
Mhm.
Here we have a power device, Mohammed, right?
Yeah.
We can connect our all devices in LAN, no problem. See, for example, you have web server, DNS server, SMTP server, FTP server, okay, company machines, computers, and some confidential servers, company confidential servers, for example. So you can put all the devices in a LAN zone. So this portion is a LAN zone, and this portion is a WAN site. WAN site. So why we need DMZ? Because we can put all our devices in LAN side, right, Amit?
Yes, sir.
We can put our web server, FTP server in our LAN side. And in case if I want to allow traffic, some traffic from WAN side, if I want to allow some traffic from WAN side, so yes, I need to configure some policy. Onto the firewall device, we can create policy. Like in Fortinet, we can create firewall policy. In PALO ALTO, you can create security policy. And in policy configuration, you can define your source information, you can define your destination information, source port number, destination port number. So when traffic is going to hit onto the firewall device, firewall will check this traffic information into policy. And based on your source and destination information, this outside machine, for example, can access this web server based on your policy. So your firewall will check source IP, destination IP, and yes, outside machine can access this web server. As per policy, this outside machine can only access web server. Perfect. But into the scenario, if I'm putting all my devices in a LAN zone, if I'm putting all my devices, okay, servers, confidential servers, okay, machine, LAN computers. So this traffic is coming from untrusted network, right? This traffic is coming from untrusted network. So it may be possible this can try to compromise other devices, right?
Yes,
Mohammed, Amit?
Yes,
yes, sir.
yes,
It can
yes.
try because traffic is coming from what? Traffic is coming from untrusted network. That is the issue. That is the issue. That's why what we can do, we can create a separate zone. We can create a separate zone. What we can do, here I can create a separate zone. This is called what? DMZ zone, demilitarized zone. So this is switch, and here you can put all your servers. These servers I want to allow for public user. I want to allow publicly, okay? So this is web server, SMTP, DNS, FTP. So now this time I can create a separate zone and I can put all these server in a separate zone. So this time, if any traffic is going to hit onto this WAN interface, so as per my configuration, my firewall will redirect this traffic onto the DMZ zone. It means this untrusted traffic is not going in your LAN network. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Amit, Mohammed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So
Clear.
you know, in DMZ network, in DMZ side, we can put these servers, and these servers I want to allow for my outside user. So this is what DMZ zone. Now in firewall, we need to discuss some common technique here. Okay, common technique. For example, what is stateful firewall technique? It's a common technique for any firewall device, Cisco ASA. Okay, before start stateful firewall technique, you need to know in market we have multiple vendors for next generation firewall. Our focus is on what? Next generation firewall. Fortinet is a next generation firewall. So in market we have multiple vendors for next generation firewall features. See, Palo Alto, Fortinet, Checkpoint, Barracuda, okay, Cisco, Juniper, SonicWall, ForcePoint. So force multiple vendors we have. And this is Gartner report. You can download this report from Google, okay? You can visit Gartner website and you can download this next generation firewall. So Gartner divided all the vendors into the categories, okay? Divided all the vendors into the categories after survey, okay? So it has 4 categories: leaders in the market, challenger in the markets, nice player, and visionaries. So now you can see,
Sorry.
no problem. You can see Palo Alto, Fortinet, and Checkpoint. These are the leader in the market, everyone. They are what? They are the leader in the market right now. Palo Alto, Fortinet, and Checkpoint. Cisco is not a leader, Amit. Cisco
Yes,
is a challenger. Why? Because of Cisco FTD. Cisco FTD. In single FTD cost, I can deploy 2 Fortinet firewall device in my organization. So same feature I can get in least cost. Same feature. So yes, these are the leaders: Fortinet, Palo Alto, and Checkpoint. And this is our topic, Fortinet. So now before start Fortinet firewall discussion, let's talk about stateful firewall technique, because it's a common technique for any firewall device. Amit, any idea about stateful firewall technique?
no, sir.
No problem, no problem, no problem. See, so we need to know what is stateful firewall technique, because it's a common concept for any firewall device. So let's take a firewall here, okay? I'm using Cisco ASA right now. Cisco ASA. So in Cisco, we have 2 firewall device. you can work with Cisco ASA. It's a port-based firewall. And after ASA, you can go for Cisco next generation firewall. It's called Cisco FTD, Firepower Threat Defense. Okay. Okay, let's focus on our topic. So Cisco ASA we have here, Cisco ASA firewall device. And this ASA is connected with LAN portion. This is a switch. And here we have some computers in LAN side. This portion is a WAN side portion, ISP portion. So now, why we are creating this topology? Because we need to know what is a stateful firewall technique. So in case if you are working with Cisco ASA firewall, so remember always, Cisco ASA always works with a concept is called security level. Security level. So in Cisco ASA, if you go on any interface, for example, this is fast Ethernet 0/0, this is fast Ethernet 0/1. So if you go onto this interface and type this predefined keyword INSIDE, it's a predefined keyword in Cisco ASA firewall. If you type this keyword onto this interface on 0/0, so this interface will get automatically security level 100. So security level range in between 0 to 100. So this interface will get security level 100. And if you go on to this interface 0/1, so I'm using, you can type anything, okay? Not inside, for your name, my name. So for example, on 0/1, I'm using this word, this keyword is called outside. You can type anything, not inside. So if you type inside on any interface will get a security level 100. And if you type any other keyword, so this interface will get a security level 0. Security level 0. And by default on Cisco ASA firewall, by default, traffic is allowed from higher security level to lower security level. No need to configure any access policy. No. By default, in Cisco ASA, we have a by default concept. By default, traffic is allowed from higher security level to lower security level. So my point is, if this inside machine 192.168.10.10, if this inside machine is trying to communicate with 8.8.8.8, trying to communicate with this outside server. So this traffic will go and hit onto this firewall interface. So when traffic will hit on firewall interface, firewall will verify, okay, this traffic is coming from higher security level and trying to go on lower security level. So as per default concept, traffic is by default allowed from lower to higher. So no problem, traffic is traveling to outside. And whenever traffic is traveling through the appliance, through the firewall device, then firewall will maintain the state of connection in a table. And table is what? State table. You can say state table, you can say connection table. So whenever traffic is traveling, see, firewall is a stateful device, Amit, Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
Router is a stateless device. Firewall is a stateful device. So whenever traffic is traveling through the appliance, firewall will maintain the state of connection. What it will maintain in a state table? It maintains source information, source IP, source port number, destination IP, destination port number. So as per your task, source IP address is what? 192. Source IP address is 192.168.10.10. Destination IP, source port number. Let's take a random port number 52,000. Destination IP, so 8.8.8 as per our task, and destination port number, for example, 443. So this traffic is traveling through the firewall device. Now it's going to hit on 8.8.8. No problem. Now what about return traffic? I told you, if traffic is traveling through the appliance or firewall will maintain the state of connection in a connection table. And in connection table, what it maintain? It maintains source IP, source port number, destination IP, destination port number. Okay, no problem. Now what about reply packet? if this 8.8.8 will give the reply packet, and it will hit, this reply packet will hit onto this interface. And onto this interface, we have a security level, everyone?
0.
0.
0.
I told you, by default, traffic is allowed from higher security level to lower security level. But if traffic is traveling from lower to higher, everything denied. So when this return traffic reply packet will go and hit onto this firewall device, then what firewall will check? Remember always, whenever any traffic is going to hit on firewall interface, firewall will check this traffic information in connection table, in a state table. So firewall will verify, is there any entry available in my state table? So as per reply packet, firewall can identify, can verify, okay, this reply packet is from 8.8.8. Yes, I has this more information. And this reply packet is for 192.168.10.10 port number information. So firewall can identify this traffic was initiated from LAN side. And it's a reply packet. It's not initiated from WAN side. It's a reply packet. Traffic was initiated from LAN side. So it will allow this traffic. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It will allow this traffic. Amit, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This
Clear.
concept is called stateful firewall technique, and it's a common concept. I will show you state table or connection table information in FortiGate firewall device. If you are working with Fortinet, I will show you. So it's a common concept. So what is stateful firewall device? When traffic is traveling through the appliance, firewall will maintain the state of connection in connection table, in state table. It maintains source IP, destination IP, source port number, destination port number. When reply packet come, it will match this reply packet information with the state table. If it is match, allow, no, deny. Clear?
Clear.
Yes, clear. Yes, sir.
Now let's talk about another common feature for any firewall device. It's called transparent firewall. So what is transparent firewall? See, I told you we can use our firewall device as a L3 firewall box, or we can use as a
L2.
layer 2. L3 box, you can say NAT mode firewall. And L2 firewall device, you can say transparent firewall. So in case, if I have a firewall device, for example, this firewall device is a L3 firewall device, for example. So these interfaces are L3 interfaces. It means we can configure IP address here. Because these are L3 interfaces, we can configure routing, we can configure VPN, we can configure NAT, and it's a next generation firewall. So we can utilize next generation firewall feature. No problem. But in case if we are using this firewall device, it's a common concept. Layer 2 firewall is a common concept for any firewall device. In Cisco, you can say transparent. Okay, so in case if you are using this firewall device as a layer 2 firewall box, so remember always you cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces because these are called layer 2 interfaces. It's not a switch port, it's a layer 2 interface. It means you cannot configure IP address here. You cannot configure routing, VPN, and NAT. But it's a complete firewall device. So you can utilize next generation firewall features, or you can say you can utilize firewall features here. So my point is, in which scenario we can use our firewall device as a layer 2 firewall, because with layer 3 firewall we have great feature, right, Amit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I'm working with layer 3 firewall device, so I can connect my firewall with internet. I can configure routing. I can do translation. I can configure site-to-site remote access VPN. But in case if I'm using my firewall device as a layer 2 firewall device, so we have limitation. So in this scenario, we can use our firewall devices as a layer 2 firewall box. Let's talk about a scenario. So for example, I'm working in a existing routing switching topology. For example, here we have a router, and this router is connected with ISP side. This portion is a LAN portion switch. So into this topology, into this routing switching topology, everything is working fine. Okay, this machine is forwarding traffic to the switch forwarding traffic to the router, and based on routing table, router forwarding traffic to the outside. Everything is working fine. Now, as a network administrator, now you want to deploy a firewall device into this topology, into this existing topology, existing network, because I want to filter my traffic. So yes, in case if I am trying to deploy my firewall device, so before deploy a firewall device here, you can see this is what? A LAN subnet, right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And
Yes,
this
sir.
portion is what? WAN
WAN.
subnet.
One side.
So in your LAN subnet, if you are trying to deploy your firewall device here in inline mode here, and this firewall is what? For example, L3 firewall device. If this firewall box is what? L3 firewall device. So see, these interfaces are L3 interfaces. These interfaces are what? L3 interfaces. So each interface will participate in different subnet, right? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
if I will deploy this firewall device in my existing scenario, so what I need to do, I need to change my existing IP address scheme. Now see, your single subnet is now divided into two different subnet and different subnet. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So no problem. I want to deploy my firewall device as a layer 3 firewall box. So yes, I can do this. I can change my complete IP address scheme and I can deploy. No problem. But in case I don't want to change anything into this existing scenario, I don't want to change IP address scheme, but I want to deploy a complete firewall box here. Then I can go with layer 2 firewall. If I'm using this firewall device as a layer 2 firewall box, so these interfaces, for example, this is fast Ethernet 0/0, this is 0/1. So these interfaces are what? These are the L2 interfaces. So no need to configure IP address here. But yes, it's an interface, so you can give an alias name, description you can say. For example, it's a LAN interface, it's a WAN interface. It's just a name. It's just a name. LAN and WAN, just a name. So if you are using your firewall device as a layer 2 firewall box into this existing scenario, so no need to configure any IP address on any interfaces. So again, it's a single subnet. Clear my point, Mohammed?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It's a single subnet. Now, yes, it's a firewall device. If you want to allow traffic from one network to another network, you need to configure security policy. And it's a complete next generation firewall. So you can utilize next generation firewall feature. Okay, clear my point?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Here where we can use, so
Yes, sir.
where we can use L2 firewall device in a live network, where I don't want to change any IP address scheme. I want to deploy a firewall device in a live network, so I can deploy my firewall box as a layer 2 firewall. But we have limitation. We cannot connect this firewall device with internet. We cannot configure NAT and VPN option. But it's a complete firewall device. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is what? Transparent firewall, or you can say layer 2 firewall. Now let's focus on Fortinet discussion. Okay, wait. So we can start our discussion with our first topic, introduction and initial configuration. We can start our discussion with introduction and initial configuration. Now, So this training is related with NSC 4 program. Okay, this is called what? NSC program. Like if Amit, if you are working with Cisco, so in Cisco, what we have certification level, right? CCNA, CCNP,
Yes.
CCIE, right, Mohammed?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
In Palo Alto, what we have? PCNSA and PCNSE, right? PCNSE.
Yeah, yeah.
In Checkpoint, what we have? CCSA, CCSE,
CCSE. Yeah.
right? So in Fortinet, we have certification program. Like other vendor, we have certification program, and this certification program is called NSC, Network Security Expert Program. It has 8 level of certification. You can see what we have: NSC 1 to NSC 8. So you can go from NSC 1 to NSC 8, NSC 1, NSC 2, NSC 3. These 3 certifications are totally free. Totally free. No need to pay any amount. What you can do, you can log in with training.fortinet.com. You can create your account. You can watch some videos and you can attempt some questions. So it will take hardly 1 hour to pass NSC 1, NSC 2. Amit,
Yes,
do you
sir.
have any idea
Okay.
about NSC 1, NSC 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No.
Okay, but our training is related with NSC 4 examination. NSC 4 examination. So yes, it's a you can go for Fortinet Firewall training. You can go with NSC 4 training. After NSC 4, you can plan for advanced training, like for example, NSC 5. Like in NSC 5, you can focus on 40 analyzer and 40 manager. NSC 6, NSC 7, and in NSC 7, you can go with enterprises firewall training, or you can go with SD WAN training. So after NSC 4, you can plan for higher certifications. Okay. And I'm certified in from NSC 1 to NSC 7. Okay. I have certification in NSC 4, 5, and 7. Not in 6, but yes, I'm certified in NSC 4, 5, and 7. Now,
Okay.
let's start our discussion. So before buy a firewall device, for example, I'm a network administrator in my organization. I'm a network administrator. And now I want to buy a firewall device. I want to buy a firewall device for my organization. So before buy a firewall device, you need to review some feature. You need to review some features. For example, see, these are the basic features you need to review before buy a firewall device for your organization. Okay, so first feature is what? You need to know the architecture of each vendor. You need to know the architecture. For example, if you are working with Checkpoint firewall device, so in Checkpoint is what? It's a software-based firewall, right? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Checkpoint is a software-based firewall. In Checkpoint, what you can do, you can download Gaia operating system. Gaia operating system, you can go on Checkpoint website and you can download this Gaia operating system. And this operating system, this OS, you can install in your laptop, you can install in your desktop, okay? And you can use your laptop and desktop as a complete firewall device. It's a Checkpoint architecture, Mohammed. Amit,
Okay.
yeah?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
my
sir.
point is what? Before buy a firewall, okay, I'm not talking about Fortinet, no. Before buy a firewall device, you need to know the architecture of each vendor. Okay, so architecture is very important because every vendor has its own architecture. So prefer a software firewall that you can install on a new or existing PC, or you can go with dedicated appliance. Now, next feature you need to review is called sessions. So how many concurrent firewall session does firewall need to support? For example, if I'm working in a small network, okay, if I'm working in a small network, so there is no requirement for high end or low high end or enterprise level firewall device. If I'm working in a small network, my point is what? In Fortinet we have product information. We have some entry level firewall device, Fortinet 30 to 90 series, some mid range firewall device, 100 to 90, high end appliance, 1000, 3000, 6000. So in case, for example, in case if I'm working in a big network, if I'm working with 500 computers, if I'm working in a big networks, so I cannot go with entry level firewall device. Why? Because every firewall has a capabilities, right? Every firewall has a port, has a capabilities, number of session it can support. Like if I'm working with a small network, so yes, I can go with Fortinet entry-level firewall device. I can go with Fortinet 30 to 90 series of firewall devices. Clear my point, Amit, Mohammed?
Yes,
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 sir.
yes, sir.
Every firewall has what? Has a category. So for small network, I cannot go with the high-end appliance, and for a big network, I cannot go with entry-level firewall device because every firewall will support number of sessions. Number of session, I'm talking about number of ports. Okay. So what we have, you can go with number of session. You need to check first. So this session you can verify with product family information. You need to download product checklist. In product checklist, you can get the detailed information about port information, number of session it can support. Now, next option we have VPN concept. In case in your organization, if they are working with side-to-side VPN connectivity, or if they are working with remote access VPN connectivity, so can I configure VPN on firewall device onto this vendor? In case if I want to integrate my firewall device with any server, for example, with any Exchange mail server or SharePoint collaboration server or any remote authentication servers like Radius, TACAX, or LDAP, can I integrate? So I need to know these features. Okay, in case if I want to manage this firewall device through CLI, through graphical paste, is it possible? If I want to manage this firewall device through SSH, Telnet, or SNMP, can I manage? Or in case if I'm looking for centralized management, if I have multiple firewall device, multiple firewall, for example, if you are working with Palo Alto firewall device, to manage multiple Palo Alto firewall, in Palo Alto we have a centralized device. It's called Panorama. Any idea?
No, sir.
Yeah,
Any
yeah,
idea about Panorama?
yeah. It's manage multiple firewalls.
Yes, to manage multiple Palo Alto firewall device from centralized location in Palo Alto, you can go with Panorama. In case if you want to manage multiple checkpoint gateway device, it's a checkpoint firewall device. If you want to manage multiple checkpoint gateway device from centralized location, so in checkpoint, you can go with checkpoint management. If you are working with Cisco Firepower Threat Defense, it's a Cisco next generation firewall. So if you want to manage multiple FTD devices, multiple FTD appliances from centralized location, so in Cisco, we have a centralized device, Cisco FMC, Firepower Management Center. So like other vendor in Fortinet, we have a device to manage multiple FortiGate product, multiple Fortinet product. We have a centralized device is called Forti Manager, and it's a part of NSC 5 training. It's a part of NSC 5. So after NSC 4, you can go with NSC 5. So in case like other vendor, if you are looking for centralized management, if you have multiple firewall devices, so like other vendor in Fortinet, you can go with Forti Manager device. Clear my point, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Amit, Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now, high availability solution, high availability. So in case if I want to configure failover concept or high availability concept in my organization, so can I configure high availability onto this vendor? So these are the features. These are the basic features you need to review before buy a firewall device for your organization. Now, if you talk about vendors in market, so we have multiple vendors. I told you multiple vendors we have, and you cannot say which firewall is best. You cannot say because every firewall has its own feature. Palo Alto has its own feature. Fortinet has its own feature. Cisco FTD has its own feature. Okay, but you can verify here top leader. If you want to verify top leader in the market, so yes, you can see top leader is what? Fortinet, top leader Palo Alto, Fortinet, and Checkpoint. So they are the leader in the market right now. Now, okay, these are the images. Okay, if you go with Sonic Wall firewall device, this is Sonic Wall image. This is checkpoint firewall device, Palo Alto, Cisco, and Fortinet. If we talk about Fortinet story, so Fortinet was founded in 2000 by two brothers, Ken and Michael. The company first product was FortiGate firewall device. Now we have multiple Fortinet product. You can verify here. See, our focus is on how to work with FortiGate firewall device, but you can see like Cisco in Fortinet, we have multiple product like Forti Wi-Fi, Forti AP, Forti Analyzer, Forti Manager, Forti Switch, Forti Camera. So we have multiple Fortinet product, but our focus is on right now how to work with FortiGate firewall device. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let's talk about what is factory default setting. In case if I have a firewall device, if I have any high-end or mid-range firewall device, for example, this is what high-end or mid-range. So in case if you have high-end or mid-range firewall device, so you will get a dedicated management port, MGMT port. And yes, you have data interfaces. You have what? Data interfaces. These are the data interfaces. You can connect your LAN network, WAN network, DMZ network. But in high-end and mid-range appliance, you will get a dedicated management port. And onto this dedicated management port, we have a default IP address 192.168.1.99. What you can do, you can connect your laptop. You can connect your laptop or desktop with this management port, and you can configure same series of IP address here. By default on management port, these services are enabled by default. So from this management PC, you can ping to this port to access graphically, to manage graphically, you can go with HTTPS. In case if you want to manage through CLI option, so you can go with SSS protocol. So in high-end or mid-range model, we can get a dedicated management port. In case if you have entry-level firewall device, if you have entry-level in between 1430 to 90 series firewall device, if you have entry-level firewall device, so in entry-level firewall box, you have only data interfaces. You have only data interfaces. So in entry-level firewall model, you can use your port number one. You can use your, for example, this is port number one, this is port number two, port number three, port number four. So in entry-level model, you can use port number one as a management port. You can use any port as a management port, no problem. But by default, these services are enabled on port number one. By default, on port number. So you can connect your management PC. You can take a console. You can take a console first. You can configure IP address on port number one manually or through DSCP. You can decide. You can configure IP address here, and same series of IP address you can configure onto this management PC. You can verify your connectivity, and you can manage through graphical page or you can manage through CLI option. Clear now my point?
Yes, sir.
Default username Amit, it's admin, and password is nothing. Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me show you. Wait, let me show you this firewall device. Wait. So let's create a basic lab for basic configuration. Okay, so we have a basic topology. Amit,
Yes, sir.
Mohammed, one
Yes.
FortiGate firewall device, one FortiGate firewall device, and this cloud is what? Management PC. So this cloud is my physical laptop. Wait. I need to reset this firewall device because I was using in another batch. Wait. This is console. You can start, you can double click. It's a console. It's not SSH connection.
Okay.
In case if you want to reset your firewall device, you can use this command, execute factory reset.
Okay.
You can press enter, you can type yes. Everyone, can you hear me? Amit, Mohammed?
Yeah, I
Yes,
can.
sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. I can
Please
hear
wait,
you.
this will take time.
Okay.
Let's take a break for 5 minutes. Amit, Mohammed, we will continue
Okay,
our
sir.
topic
Okay.
at 12:51. Please turn off your mic.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Everyone, can you hear me? Amit, Mohammed.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let's continue our topic now. Amit, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So here we have a small topology, one FortiGate firewall device and one management PC. And it's a new firewall device. You can log in, see, username admin and password is nothing. You can press enter. Now you can set your password 123 123. Now you are in FortiGate firewall device. You can type question mark like Cisco devices. You can type question mark here. It's not a checkpoint firewall device. In checkpoint, you can press tab button, but here you can type question mark like Cisco. So you can see multiple commands are available: config, get, show, diagnose, execute, alias, exit. Multiple options are available. So let's start our discussion with show command. Show system interface. This command I'm using to verify interface related information. Show system interface, you can press enter. You can see here we have 4 interfaces onto this firewall device: port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, port number 4. So we are working with entry level firewall device because there is no any management port. Okay, so we can use our port number 1. I told you in entry level firewall device you can use your port number 1 as a management port. So this is port number 1, and by default these services are enabled. Remember our discussion? By default, these services are enabled on port number 1. Mohammed, Amit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So by default, these services are enabled, but only on port number 1. You can verify everyone. Only on port number 1. Port number 2, no. Port number 3, no. Port number 4, no. So now I'm trying to configure IP address on port number, for example. And you can see everyone, you can see by default, DSCP service is enabled onto this port number 1. So if you connect port number 1 with any DSCP server, so it can get an IP address automatically. So let's try to configure IP address here. How to configure IP address on any interfaces? Command is config. So to configure anything in Fortinet, you can use a command config. So config system interface. Now you are in interface mode, and I'm trying to edit port number 1. So command is edit port number 1. Now you are in port number 1. Here you can use a command set mode static. Why? Because we are trying to configure IP address statically. So set mode static. Now set IP, you can configure IP address here. In my topology, Amit, Mohammed, in my topology, I'm using 192.168.1.190/24. In your topology, in your network, you can use any IP address, no problem. Clear?
Okay.
Clear,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, clear.
So 192.168.1.190, and now set allows. You can allow some services. You can use a command set allows question mark. You can type. You can see multiple options are available. So right now I'm trying to allow, for example, HTTP, HTTPS, ping, and SSH service. You can press enter. Now, in case if you want to save this configuration, or if you want to live this configuration in Fortinet, you can type end command. Like in Cisco, you can type WR. In Palo Alto, you can go with commit command. Mohammed, Amit.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
In Juniper, you can go with commit command. In Checkpoint, you can go with save config. Here we can type end command to live our configuration. Now, show system interface. Now you can verify IP address information on port number 1. See, port number 1, IP address 192.168.1.190, mask and services. So this is what a small topology, one FortiGate firewall device, and this cloud is my physical laptop. So let's verify IP address on physical laptop. Command prompt. Let's open command prompt and we can verify IP address information here. So on physical machine, I'm using same series of IPC 192.168.1. Network. Same series of IP address I'm configuring. I'm using here and I'm configuring here. See. So now we can verify our connectivity from physical laptop. I can verify my connectivity with firewall device. So ping 192.168.1.190 and I'm getting reply. If I'm getting reply, so I can open any browser. any browser, and you can type 192.168.1.190. You can press enter. And this is a graphical page, everyone. This is what graphical page. You can log in, username admin, password 123. Password 123. So this is CLI console. Okay, CLI console. And this page is what? Graphical
GUI.
page.
GUI. Okay.
Graphical. Okay. Graphical page. And you can see, everyone, onto this graphical page, multiple options are available. Dashboard, security fabric, network, system, policy and object, security profile, VPN, user authentication, log and report. We'll discuss all the options, no problem. Let's start our discussion with dashboard first. And you can see, everyone, we are working into this testing scenario, and we are using VM firewall device. So you can see FortiGate VM64. If you have any physical appliance, like for example, Fortinet 60D, 90E, 30E model, so you can get model name here. We are working with VM firewall device, so FortiGate VM64 KVM. Now, let's verify our dashboard information. So dashboard we are using for monitoring. This is dashboard, everyone. This is dashboard, and it's a common concept for any firewall device. It's a common concept. Dashboard we are using for monitoring. See, let's verify some information into this dashboard. So let's start our discussion with system information tab. So onto this dashboard, you can go with system information. In system information, you can verify host name information. So this is default host name, FortiGate VM64 KVM. In case if you want to change this host name, so you can change, no problem. You can type config system global set host name. For example, this is firewall box 1. You can type end command to save your configuration. Let's refresh this page. Refresh this page, and this time you can verify. You can see host name is changed now. It's a firewall 1. You can verify device serial number information, firmware information. So we are working with FortiOS version 6.4.4 and build version 1803. Firewall mode is what? NAT mode. So we are working with L3 firewall device. System time you can verify. Uptime you can verify. WAN IP unknown because we didn't configure anything. It's a new firewall device. Amit?
Yes, sir.
Mohammed,
Clear.
clear?
Yeah. Yes, clear. Yeah.
Now you can go with license information. So in real scenario, if you are working with any physical appliance and in organization, yes, we need license to utilize all next generation firewall features. We need to install license. So we have multiple options: FortiCare license, firmware and general update license, IPS license, antivirus features, web filtering. So in case license installed here, so you can get license information. For example, date issued, date expired information you can verify here. Now, virtual machine. Yes, we are working with virtual machine, and we have single CPU, and we are utilizing 100% CPU. We have 2 GB RAM, but right now we are utilizing 50% RAM. 40 cloud information you can verify here. It's not supported. Security fabric information you can verify. See, security, if you want to know about security fabric, okay, it's a concept of NSC 7. In NSC 7, we have a dedicated topic. Okay, what is security fabric, Mohammed? But I can give you the basic idea, Mohammed, Amit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can give you the basic idea what is security fabric. See, security fabric is a technology you can use. For example, if you are working with Fortinet product, if you have all type of Fortinet product in your organization, so you need to enable security fabric feature. So security fabric related information you can verify. Administrators information you can verify here. See, admin account is as accessing this firewall device through console, through graphical page. And with this administrator, we have a profile, super underscore admin profile. What is super underscore admin profile? It's a predefined profile. So what is super underscore admin? We'll discuss later, okay? We have a proper topic. But you can see right now with this admin account, we have a profile, predefined profile attached with this account is called super_admin. Now you can verify CPU utilization, memory utilization, session information. You can verify. You can set your timer. For example, I want to see CPU utilization after every 1 hour, after every 12 hours. So these default options are available. These default options are available. In case if you want to add more information on dashboard, you can click on add and you can select here. For example, I want to verify that. See, multiple options are available, everyone. See, multiple
Yes, sir.
options. FortiView, security fabric related information you can add. So multiple options are available to add on your dashboard. Right now, I'm looking for interface bandwidth utilization. So you can add. For example, I want to verify interface bandwidth utilization on port number 3. You can select, you can click on add. I want to verify HA status information on dashboard. So you can add, you can search, you can add. So you can verify here, you can verify a new tab here. See bandwidth utilization on port number 3, inbound, outbound traffic, HA status information. You can verify right now this firewall device is not participating in any failover concept. So mode is what? Standalone. Clear now this concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear. Yeah.
Now let's talk about these options, everyone. These options. This side we have some options. Okay, so you can click here. So this option can help you to search any tab. For example, you can see if you click on network, in network we have multiple options. In system we have multiple options. In security profile, in policy and object we have multiple options. In case if I'm looking for interface related task, so you can search here. For example, interface, you can type, you can press enter, so you can get all interface related options. So my task is related with network interface. So you can click, it will automatically redirect on network and interface tab. So this option is a common concept. Okay, you can get in Palo Alto, you can get in other firewall devices. So here you can search and you can go in any tab. You have CLI console. If you click here, it's a CLI console. It's a complete console, everyone. Okay, you can type any command. See, show system interface. It's a console. But this console you can access when you have a graphical access. Okay, first time, yes, you need this console for first time. But once you have a graphical access, and if you want to work with CLI option, console option, command option, so you can go with graphical console. Full screen, you can click here, you can go with full screen or you can exit. Now, next option is what? This is a great option. This option can help you for any topic. Okay, for example, if you click on online help, and if your machine is connected with internet, so it will redirect on Fortinet document library. So if you click on online help, it will redirect automatically on document library. Right now we are working with FortiOS 6.4.4. So you can download PDF file related with, if you talk, for example, if you want to discuss what is interface setting, okay, how to configure an interface. So you can see, or you can download PDF file. In case if you are working with any other Fortinet OS version, so you can click on FortiGate, see FortiGate, and you can select your version 7.0, 7.2, 7.4, for example, 6.2. You can select and you can download admin guide. Clear my point? So this
Yes.
document
sir.
library can help you for any topic. You can download the admin guide or other features information and you can read it. So this information can help you for online help. This bell icon can give you the idea about notification. You can say, for example, you can see this first notification, unable to connect FortiGuard server. So right now this firewall is not connected with internet, and you can see we are getting license expiration message. So we are working with VM firewall device. This image is only valid for 15 days. After 15 days, what you can do, you can right click, power off, and you can right click, delete, and you can add a new. You can add a new FortiGate firewall device into this topology. So you can get license information. Now you can see admin account. What we have? Admin account. Admin. Now if you click here, you can get same information. FortiGate, you are working with FortiGate VM64, FortiOS version 6.4.4, build version 1803. If you click on system, you can see you can restart or shut down this firewall device. In case if you want to restart or shut down this firewall device through CLI command, you can. You can see, you can go into the firewall device. Command is what? Execute, reboot. For shutdown, execute, shutdown. You can press enter. I'm not using these commands, but I'm giving you idea. You can restart or shut down your firewall device with CLI option, or you can go with graphical page. If you click on configuration, so you can go with backup and restore option. Everyone. Amit, Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
Everyone, please wait 1 minute. Wait 1 minute.
All right. Okay.
Everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start. So now you can click on configuration and you can go for backup and restore. So backup and restore is a very simple step. Okay, very simple task in any firewall device. Okay, right now we are working with Fortinet. So in case if you're looking for backup, so it's a new firewall device, everyone. It's a new firewall device. We haven't configured anything. It's a new box. So we can go for backup, but it's a default configuration backup. So if you click on configuration, if you click on backup, it will redirect here and you can see backup to local PC. So you can take a backup onto this local PC. You can just click on OK. You can click on OK and it's a default configuration backup. You can open this backup file and you can see everyone this backup, it is in a clear text format. You can see this complete backup. It is in a clear text format. In case if you are looking for encrypted backup, so you can just enable this option, enable encryption. You can set password. Why password? Because if anyone trying to restore this backup file, it's required password to restore. So you can set a password 123 123. You can click on OK. So again, we have a backup, but this backup file is what? It is in an encrypted format. Let me show you. It is in an encrypted format. Clear? Everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
we can go with Amit two type of backup. We can go with Mohammed clear text backup, or we can go with encrypted backup. Okay, but you can see guys, in both backup file, you can see in both backup file, first line, if you check your first line in both backup file, see first line, this is encrypted backup file, this is what clear text backup file. So in both backup file, first line is not encrypted, right everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, REST configuration is encrypted. See, REST configuration is encrypted, but first line is not encrypted. Why? Because first line will give you the idea about 40 OS version and build version. Okay, see, you are working with 6.4.4 build version 1803 and see 6.4 build version 1803. So this first line will give you the idea about product family information. Okay, 40 OS version information and build version. So you can only restore this backup file on same build version and on same 40 OS version. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, see, right now this option is what? This option is local PC, everyone. In case in my network, we have TFTP server, for example. In my network, we have TFTP server. And all device configuration, we are trying to restore configuration backup or OS backup. We are trying to restore on TFTP server. Then what you can do? So you can go with CLI command. For TFTP backup, there is no any option with graphical page. You need to go on CLI. So remember, always in Fortinet, for some configuration, you have to go with CLI option. Clear my point? You
Yes,
cannot configure with graphical page. You need to go with the CLI option, Amit.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
For
Yes,
some
sir.
configuration, like for example, I want to work with TFTP. I want to send this backup file on TFTP server. So I can go with CLI option. You cannot configure with graphical page. Now, so let's try to log in. Let's try to log in. Okay, so before execute any command for TFTP, you can see we have a small topology, one FortiGate firewall device, and one management PC. And onto this management PC, you can see, guys, we are using IP address 192.168.1.7, right,
Seven.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So now we have, see, we are using a TFTP application onto this physical laptop. You can verify here. I'm using 3CD application. You can download any TFTP application, no problem. You can download anyone. Okay, you can for testing. I'm using 3CD application. Why? Because this single application can help you for multiple practicals. For example, this application can help you for TFTP practical, for FTP practical, for syslog practical. So that's why I'm using this application. Otherwise, you can use any application. So what you can do, first, you can open your application and it just example, Mohammed, Amit.
Okay. All right.
It's just an example. Okay, maybe in your organization, you are working with any other TFTP application, any